I'm in the pinch, still gifts like the Grinch. Police mark bills, wash money, erase the prints. Rockefeller, that's old money. Mansa Musa, key to dynasty gold on me. From resource to industry, y'all stole money. 40 acres and a mule, man, it's built for money. Wall Street, that was the first auction block. My ancestors was just treated like livestock.
You do a lot of mentoring in the community. You get to work with a lot of young brothers and a lot of young sisters. I know you get to see the effects of the educational system and the flaws in the system. I want you to address who and what you think are the biggest contributors to the flaws in the educational system.
Man, first off, when you trying to educate, we talk about educating the youth in our community. It's a thing where everybody has to be active in it. The parents especially, but not only the parents. It's up to everyone in the community to raise our children. You know what I'm saying? Like the saying goes, man, it takes a village. And I mean, the issues that I see with the educational system, for one, traditionally, it's not even 50 years old for a child, for it to be a necessity or required for a child to have primary and secondary school education. Traditionally, it's not 50 years old, because when you're talking about the early 1900s, the mid 1900s, 60s, 70s even, parents chose whether or not they wanted their child to have that education for 12 years. Some may have only went for 3 or 4 years. And a lot of times parents made that decision based on, okay, we're sharecroppers. We got land. Okay, you 10 now. You're big enough to come out here and help us. Come on and help us, because you seem like you're not really interested in school, but you can be an asset to this house by going to work right now. And so you had a classroom. As the years carried on, you may have started out in kindergarten with 20-some kids, but that same kindergarten class, by the time I got to the 4th grade or whatever, may have been cut down to like maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. And so you knew that those parents were dedicated, to educating their children. And you also had teachers, like, people got this misconception that when integration happened, that's when we were receiving the best education. Wrong. During segregation, we got the best of the best teachers, because if a teacher went to school for the purpose of educating a child and came back to the community, that was something serious. You know what I'm saying? If a woman went off to college and got her degree and came back, she didn't come back to have a job just because. She came back because her passion was that she was going to teach. And most of the time, these teachers would teach for 50-some years, 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? They would retire as a teacher. Whereas now, no offense to anybody, every child is in the classroom now. Some of these teachers now, I got a degree in biochemistry. I didn't get accepted to the biochemical program at this medical university, or I decided that I didn't want to pursue that and be a biochemist, but I got a lot of hours in science. I guess I'll be a science teacher, however, until I find something different. So that plays a part in it too, because when you talk about one teacher from the 30s or 40s who's been teaching for 40 years, that's her passion, that was her dream, she's doing what she wanted to do. And then you got somebody else who just at the in-between point. They got to start paying off college loans and things of that nature. So naturally, let's get a job where I'm at least going to be making some decent money, be able to live and pay my bills. The classrooms are overpopulated. They're overpopulated. You see a lot of times, got 25, 30 kids in the classroom. Now, parents think their children are angels, but you don't know what you don't know who your child is until you had an opportunity to observe them without, unbeknownst to them. And so in the classroom, it's chaos, especially from little kids to teenagers. It's chaos. Somebody got to use the bathroom. Somebody's sick. Somebody on their phone playing. You're trying to teach as one person in the classroom, and it's hard for one person to command control over a classroom and demand respect. And so we're at a point where I feel like there might need to be 3 or 4 adults in just one classroom just to keep everybody focusing on tasks and the distractions to not be prevalent in there, Man, there's so many different factors, man, from class size to the passion of the teachers to back to school bashes. Everybody loves to have a back to school bash. Hand out free tablets, paper tablets, pencils, crayons, backpacks, binders, whatever. Okay. Most children wake up excited about the first day of school. Why? They got something new. New shoes, new shirt maybe. Brand new school supplies. And you get to see your friends again. You missed them all something. You come back to school motivated. You come back excited. But by the time week 6 hit, it's routine. The backpack isn't as shiny and glossy as it used to be. You used to be able to access hell. Most of the kids now carry backpack as an accessory anyway. They got a pair of shoes in their backpack. Might not even have a tablet or a book. That's just a shiny accessory right there, man. The Nike backpack go with the Nike shoes and the Nike snapback. You know what I'm saying? But we having those back to school bashes giving them that. But what happens when the third 9 weeks? When the tablet is torn apart, the pencils, we've ran out of pencils and pens. We don't have a quarterly back to school bash. You know what I'm saying? It's 4 9-week periods for most schools. And so a lot of the kids might not even, that might be the only time they get something, but we all know school supplies don't last all year. And when you don't have what's required for you to go into the classroom and succeed, you already putting yourself at a disadvantage. When you don't know how to use the equipment that you got, you already at a disadvantage. And so we got to learn that, it's cool to celebrate the beginning, but we trying to create results. And so when you need results, you need constant reinforcement. You need constant redirecting a lot of times to like, hey, this is the objective. You need to get through this grade and you need to learn all the material that's required for you to make it to the next grade. I can't give you a reminder in August and expect you to hold that promise all the way through to May. And so we got to learn that if we want to take our kids to take education serious, we have to be serious about giving them the education as a community. We have to let the parents, it's important for the parents to build that rapport with the teacher. This person is with your child half the day, Monday through Friday. You need to know them and they need to know you, so that y'all can figure out the best way to be effective for the sake of your child. And so, man, there's so many things that we could touch on, but the main thing is this right here. We had something great in the past with our educational system. We got the best of the best. We had classrooms where teachers had the authority to discipline our children without parents getting upset because that's my child. You gave the respect and the trust to the teacher. We had kids in there that were focused on education because a lot of kids were weeded out. And I'm saying we need to weed children out, but I'm telling you that now the process is going to be a little bit more difficult and we have to get a little bit more focus behind it.